Uh, Good evening, everybody. Welcome. Mighty Psycho here. Psycho's Platter is always powered by coffee each and every time. Not sponsored by Wacky House. So I know I'm a little earlier than I normally would be, but that's because I've got some things I have to take care of later. Hopefully, maybe down the line, we'll have a little more consistent schedule. But you know what? I figure some is better than none, right? Right. Today here, March 27th. Yeah, 56 and a half today. Ooh, half years. Yeah. So I'm just getting to be an old man. It is what it is, right? That's how this works. I don't know, in the world, basically, right? Well, at least I think we all can be very thankful that at least we're not P. Diddy. Yeah, right? Or Jay-Z or R. Kelly or any of those people currently right now that are all under investigation, or Vince McMahon for that matter, or John Laurinaitis or other legends, right? Yeah. Anywho, so like I said, it is a Wednesday, March 27th. I got into about the mid 50s here today. I feel bad for you people out in Minnesota if you're watching. I heard you guys got dumped a lot of snow, a lot. And I know, what was it, earlier in the week? I think Illinois got it too. I could have sworn I remember seeing, I think it was like 7 or 8 inches in Rockford. A friend of mine took a picture. I'm like, holy McMoley. So I'm telling you, it was chilly actually yesterday. It was 35. It was like the coldest day in at least a month. So, to go from, we were around 70 to 35 there, that's Arkansas for you, okay? It's called wait 5 minutes, the damn weather will change, and that's how it goes, right? So, you're probably trying to figure out the title, or maybe you're not. Mankind and Bozo with that damn Coyote. Well, it's a little bit of all different kinds of things. We'll get to that in a minute. Unfortunately, I don't really have any new subscribers for this week, but if you haven't liked or sub to Psycho's Platters, please do, because we've got some interesting things in the pipeline. Hopefully in the next 60 to 90 days, we're going to maybe start having some more different things happening around here, I hope. We do happen to have also, not only, of course, Shootbox from Hell, which I'll show you the new episode that's being researched right currently. I'll show that in a minute. But we also have got new music reviews. I think I probably should have it. Probably should get dropped off here sometime by the end of the weekend. So I'll tell you what that is too, because some of you people will be surprised about this 60s band. Yeah, I said 60s band. Made a new album. We'll talk about that shortly. But hopefully everybody out there is doing really, really good, especially the one person that happens to be on here now. I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's I know I went a little earlier than normal. Maybe somebody else is on or something. I don't know. I try to pay attention, but just can't always work that way, right? Right. So, also speaking of commercial, hey, shenanigans. Yeah, I wasn't sure if I was going to do one or not. This is going to be a very short one anyway. So, maybe an hour, and then we'll text. Right. So, but we'll check out the new Jukebox from Hell episode I just dropped, which of course was the 1979 Angel album Bad Publicity, which also was known as Sinful. The next episode is going to be kind of goofy. And from 1972, Jeremy Spencer and the Children. Yeah, Now, if you know who Jeremy Spencer is, good for you. If not, I'll quickly elaborate. I am not going to go into all of this. Here's the front, here's the back. This, of course, from 1972 on Columbia. That's right. We were done with the 2 eyes by then. Oh boy. I hate it when things don't go in the damn sleeve right. But needless to say, Jeremy Spencer was an original member of Fleetwood Mac. Yeah, he was an original member of Fleetwood Mac. And this album would be a second solo album. But there's kind of some controversy attached to this. Some of you people out there might know already. I'll just give you this much of a hint, that the Jeremy Spencer and the Children, otherwise known as the Children of God, okay, the cult, yeah. And Jeremy made an album for Columbia, so so we'll be doing this next episode. But I mean, take a look at this cover for God's sakes, all right? You see how, quote, cutesy in the corner the kids are, but look, then you see the Grim Reaper right in the middle of it. Oh boy. In this case, these kids may want to fear the Reaper, as opposed to Blue Oyster Cult, who's nowhere on this cover. And then on the back, this is still in the original shrink too, but on the back, you got little, boy and girl there. But yeah, so 72, Jeremy Spencer and the Children. That'll be the next episode coming up on Shoebox from Hell. Grateful, how you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. What's up? Good to see you on that. I don't have any, quote, new vinyl, but I have stuff that I don't think I showed you guys, so we'll do that in a little bit too. Also, I wanted to let you know that I went to a wrestling match about 2 weeks ago. Yes, Grateful Dogs is in the house. And always well appreciated for you people to drop by and watch. So the thing is that a week from past Saturday, 2 weeks ago, excuse me, from this upcoming Saturday, we got to see wrestling here in Rogers, Arkansas, Ozark Mountain Wrestling. They're on YouTube, by the way, too. If you like some good old indie wrestling, go check that out, Ozark Mountain Wrestling. Go like and sub to them on YouTube. Say Mighty Psycho sent you here. And hey, I don't get nothing for it, but at least it lets them know, because they know how big of a huge fan I am. I'm Mick Arya. So they had this 8-man battle tournament, to get the brand new heavyweight championship title belt, okay, because they didn't have it before. This is a sort of relatively newer organization, but it's run by former WWE NXT Ivan Warsaw. Now was not his name when he was at NXT, okay? It was Knuckles Marston, if I remember correctly, or yeah, I think that's what it is. I'd have to go back and look really quick. But needless to say, he took the belt, and that's right. Yeah, that's right. We're VC for life, brothers. That's about it, really. Once you're in the VC, you stay in the VC. So I got to get autographed 8x10 of Ivan. He won the title, by the way. He won the championship belt. I'm buzzed as fuck. Well, there you go. One talk over the light, sweet Jesus. Anyways. Oh boy. So this coming Saturday was supposed to be another wrestling match. Me and my executive producer, Donna Joe Catlady, we were going to go to Mid-South Wrestling Entertainment in Springdale, which the people that were supposed to be on the card, Rob Van Dam, Mr. Monday Night himself, from ECW and WWE, I guess, by that time, and Brian Cage. And Brian Cage and RVD have been on and off on AEW TV, but they're still doing the indies. Well, I started beginning to wonder if it was going to happen, considering that I saw a YouTube video a few days ago of Ricky Morton. Remember him, Rock and Roll Express? Yeah, they're still together. They're still wrestling. And Ricky went up against RVD in some East Coast independent show, and I'm going, well, wait a minute. If he's out in the East Coast, he's going to drive all the way down to little pissy Springdale, Arkansas? Whatever. And then I heard another rumor that Brian Cage is supposedly wrestling in Australia currently, and I'm going, well, he certainly isn't going to fly back all the way from down under all the way to little pissy Springdale, Arkansas. So this past Saturday afternoon, I got my tickets refunded because they canceled the show. So I'm a little bummed about that, but that's okay. I'm taking my Asia, are you close to Sedona? I'm minor. So, yeah, eventually I want to go out to, I actually have a reason to go to Arizona. Maybe in the next year, actually. I want to say, near Tucson. I could be wrong on that. So, but when I do decide to do that trip, I'll let you people know, you people out in Arizona. I said you people. And maybe somehow we could take a day, and if there's any good Arizona record haunts, we'll do that, maybe. I won't explain yet why I'm having to go to Arizona, but it'll be fun. I've never been out there. I had relatives of mine that lived in Prescott Valley, but unfortunately they're all passed. And I still like baseball, okay, don't get me wrong, but I haven't followed since the COVID nonsense back in 20. I kind of lost interest. I know it sounds strange, but it's true. But I would love to go spend at least a week, maybe 10 days, to go to Camp Hohokam in Mesa. I would love to see the Cubs in spring training. I think that would be cool. No GD. Where are you, Paul? Well, I'm in Northwest Arkansas. That's where I'm at. So it's going to be a drive for me. I would say, truthfully, dog, that I'm about 15-minute drive from the Arkansas-Missouri border, southwest Missouri, northwest Arkansas. And then probably a good straightaway 45 minutes, I'd say, drive to the Arkansas-Oklahoma border in West Siloam Springs. So, like, about 2 hours away from Tulsa. So that's about where I'm at this point. Oh, Southern Indiana? Oh, okay. Nice. I'll tell you something. I've never been to Southern Indiana. I'm not kidding here. I almost died in Gary on the expressway. That was that was horrible. That was late 90s, maybe around 2000. Yeah, I'm not kidding you. These two semis, oh my God. You couldn't put a file card between them. That's how close they almost smushed me, those assholes. Good thing I was at least mostly awake, and this was like early morning hours, I think. I was just like, yeah, the mood for that. Oh, excuse me. Nice. So, but yeah, so we've got that going. But I still also want to go up to, hopefully I'm going to go up to Chicagoland in August. I don't know. I'm praying on this. I don't know. Hopefully I can scrape up enough funds so that I can go see Mom. She still lives up there. She's the only family member up there. But also go see some of my Illinois friends and my Northwest Illinois friends and see, I'll go for one day to Beetle Fest, and then I can probably meet up with some of the, like Joe Mayo and a few other people that are coming out there Did you happen to? No, no. You know, I'm going to tell you something truthfully. I didn't do drugs. Now, booze, I was a boozer on and off from 17 to about, let me think about this, my early 40s, okay? In fact, I think I could probably safely say I don't think I've touched a drop in about 2 years at least. I used to drink like a fish, you know, back when I was a hell of a lot younger. As far as for have I ever done any drugs, sure, I've experimented with like marijuana here and there, you know, over the last few years even. It's been 5-6 months, I think, since the last time I had, and I had a dab, and boy, did that whoop my ass. I'm not gonna lie, but see, I had back pain. Oh, that disappeared like that, and for like 3-4 days, I was pain free. I'm like, no wonder why people love this stuff. Now I understand. Yeah, oh, you know, I know somebody that gets into shrooms. You know. Thank you very much. Actually, I'm so glad that Charlotte is out of the hospital and out of NICU and back home with my oldest son, Daddy, and Mommy and Daddy with, you know, they have an older sister, Adeline. She's a very, very, very cute kid. So I think this will be really neat. I'm hoping to see Charlotte maybe at the end of April for a quick visit in southwest central Missouri. I'm going to go up for maybe like part of a day, like Cassville, Monet area. There's no record stores up there, but there's a bunch of antique mall type stuff up where I go torture. And there's a former record honey hole, but they was well, good to see you too. So how's everything going along? Are you still doing the FLA thing? You still a girly? I know I ask a lot of fucking questions, don't I? I'm so nosy. I'm such a nosy son of a bitch, aren't I? But that's okay. That is quite all right. So let's see. Warsaw. Yeah, come on in. The water's fine. I'm drinking, of course, coffee. No, not Irish coffee. Oh, late June's the target date. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I hope it all works out the way you want it, to be honest with you, okay? I'll tell you something, Mike. There's a certain somebody that I used to talk about. She's trying to get down here from Michigan, if that gives you a hint. And we're talking about Goth Angel, ladies and gentlemen. So some of you guys from about a year plus back know who Goth Angel is, but hopefully she gets herself down here. You know, but we'll see, right? Right. But I'm not going to hold my breath. I don't do that anymore because life has been too strange to me. It has been, the unknown factors are just really something else. It's cool, man. Yeah, see. Yeah, I never did. I always kept in touch with her, you know. I did. In fact, that might be the reason why we might be making the AZ trip in the future. So I've never been out there, like I said. I'm trying to think how that pathway would go. So obviously, I'm guessing Arkansas, Oklahoma, the panhandle of Texas. So probably through Denton, and then go southwest. I mean, I'm guessing here. I don't have my geography. I said geography right now. Anyway, to figure it all out. Yeah, you know. Oh yeah, Texas, New Mexico. See, I've never been to New Mexico either, but I'll tell you this: if I get to go through New Mexico, then I have to stop in Clovis. Okay, I have to, because I want to go see the Petty Studios. It exists. It's a working studio, and they also have a gift shop. And from time to time, members of the Fireballs, yeah, you remember them, will drop on in unannounced. Yeah, that'd be fun. I'd have to bring some Fireballs album jackets, because it's going to be hot in New Mexico. I certainly don't want to leave vinyl in the car. Ooh, oh, that'd be a big mess. Yes, 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 yes. So yeah, we'll see. I'm hoping. I'm hoping maybe in the next year or so, go ahead and heading out to AZ and IL, and maybe, I don't know, 2 years from now, hopefully maybe New York. That'd be a nice little trip. I want to go to Syracuse, go catch some of my friends there, my Facebook friends, and I want to at least spend like 7 to 10 days out there. I have no desire to go to NYC. I just don't. But Syracuse and the surrounding area, you betcha. I'll go hang around there for a little while and see how that goes. Right? Right. So I really didn't exactly have a lot of discussion points today, but when we had last episode, I didn't get a chance to tell you guys about the book finds that I found, you see. I hear voices all the time. Don't rush into it. Yes, definitely. I intend on marrying a real fireball. That's funny. Does she also happen to have red hair, see? That would make it even more of a fireball. So, let's see. I don't know what to think about this guy here. We're both older and know what we want. We feel there's no need to... Right. Yeah, I've been involved in that and witnessed a bunch in my years. So I don't really care for the Baldwin family very much, but I thought it was kind of funny. I tripped on this unusual suspect, Stephen Baldwin, My Calling to the New Hardcore Movement of Fate, which I think could be quite interesting, to be honest with you. I've never seen this book. This is from 2006, so it's kind of an old read, but I'm looking forward to that. Also, James Patterson by James Patterson. This was 2 years ago. The fun part is it's autographed. That's right. And so I only paid $2 $2 for the hardbacks, and then this next one I only paid $1 for. You football fans are going to like this one. This guy played from 1966 to 71. If I remember correctly, he started out with the Denver Broncos. Yeah, the Denver Broncos. And then he also was briefly a Packer, boo his boo. He was a member of the 71 Dolphins, and he finished his career with Atlanta Falcons. And so we're talking about John Bramlett taming the bull, the John Bull Bramlett story. Now, I'm not going to lie, I really didn't know who that was, but this is signed also. He has been passed away in October. It would be 10 years. So for me to find this thing, and this book was made in 89, so not sure when he signed this thing, but he's originally from Memphis, Tennessee, and he passed away in Memphis, Tennessee. I've scanned through some of this, and there's actually a couple Elvis interactions, which probably isn't much of a surprise for people that lived in Memphis area, and not only that, Elvis loved to play football too, so there probably is some commonality. But I cannot wait to read this little bit here, and so let's see, is there any interesting pictures? Let's see. Well, I know you're not going to see this really well, but let's try this page, okay? So the first picture up on top is receiving Player of the Week honors for the Broncos last 1966 home game against the Chargers. Denver knocked San Diego off the Western Division throne with a 20-17 win. And then the bottom page, for you Boston people, you're going to love this. The 1970 Boston Patriots. He was there for a season, too. He says, I quickly earned a reputation as a hustling hard hitter when I arrived in 69, I said 69, to play for the Patriots. I was named MVP at the end of my second year with the team, and he only would stay 2 years. But there he is in Denver, and then there's your 1970 Boston Patriots. So yeah, see, I knew you'd like that. Yes, I did. Carol Burnett said she and Elvis were on Sullivan for the same show. I didn't know that. I really didn't know that. That is cool, indeed. That's right. And by the way, let me throw something up here too, Manny. I don't. Now, I brought this up on Mayo's show a couple days ago, but since you love old silent movies, I think you will appreciate this. This story this is unfortunately 2 weeks old now, so maybe you heard the story for all I know. But for the 7 of you that are in here now, I figure we might as well bring this up. So in Omaha, Nebraska, that is where this story is taking place, there was a auction in a parking lot in Omaha, Nebraska. And it was pallets of films. Yes, all in their canisters. Okay. So, what was the guy? It was $20 for the pallet that this guy wanted. He knew what was there because he was able to look at a little bit of the context to discover a master print of a long lost silent movie from 1923 starring Clara Bow. The Pill Popper, yes, and they showed still photograph. This was sharp. For 101 years old, this thing was beautiful from what they showed. The film was sold to Clara Bow's official biographer, so he is working on it right now to improve it, so that maybe in the next year it will come out. So how about that? 1923 Pill Popper. And yeah, that's it. Now if we could just find Hats Off from Laurel and Hardy, London After Midnight, a few of those other ones, I think we'd all be happy campers. Yeah, I think that's what they're doing. They're digitizing it. And so that's great. I really think that's great. It also just goes to show you that what we may think is lost, maybe someday will be found. I still am okay, like I said last week, with the May 1967 20-minute film at the Sgt. Pepper premiere party at Brian Epstein's home. Nobody knew about this. Nobody ever talked about this. We only ever saw about 100 photographs. Nope. This is supposedly, it is 16 millimeter, most likely in color with sound. They're working on that right now too, I guess. I mean, it was up for auction. I think the auction happened already. I don't know who got it. What's the Lon Chaney one about London? That's London After Midnight. They only have ever, 2 still photographs? I wish they would find that damn thing. I like Lon Chaney. I did. Let's see. Oh, excuse me. So, I titled this episode, Mankind with Bozo and a Damn Coyote. So I'm going to show you the first part here. The other two I'm going to explain. But I'm like about a third of the way into Foley is Good from Mick Foley. You betcha. As everybody knows here, not only am I big into music, but I'm also big into wrestling. I got to meet this guy in 2010. Totally awesome. I'd love to meet him again, to tell you the honest truth. He wants to have one last match, for God's sakes. And he also, though, I guess, as of in the last 24 hours, he has dropped some weight, too, I am told. He is working on that. So maybe this is going to happen. But I'm telling you now, I have a bad feeling about this. I don't know why. Mick, you want that one last match, go do it as a tag team like Sting did. Then you could at least maybe won't get hurt so much. Well, yes, And Jimmy Hart, let's see, what was I saw him twice, once in December of last year and once in January of this year. Really cool dude. He's still out on the independent circuit. That would be a cool one to watch, as Epstein only lived a couple months after That's Right. Yeah, see, I mean, I don't know if Brian is in the film. I do know, based on what I heard, yes, several Beatles are shown in the 20 minutes. I do not know any more than that. So, yeah, really fun stuff. But yeah, Mick Foley. Foley is good. This is, I think, his third book, if I remember correctly. And, yeah, here we go, because just his first two, Have a Nice Day, and Mick Foley's Christmas Chaos, which I've never seen that one. And underneath, the Foley is good, and The Real World is Faker Than Wrestling. That's what he's got here. 2001. Yeah, I'm finally getting to the point of Owen Hart at the King of the Ring in 99. And what? And, oh, God. He witnessed Owen, because he was in the back working on writing his first book, but he's seeing the monitor, the match was going on. And then next thing you know, somebody I really don't care for, aka the late Pat Patterson, goes in to where Foley's at, and he's like, Owen's gone. And you know, Foley and Owen were like joke buddies. They were like this. And he runs out to see Owen on the stretcher getting taken out, and he already was dead. So I'm just like, wow. But speaking of that, how about a goofy little picture? You know how you could go and take the photo booth, you know, and put on the old costumes? Yeah, yes. The fabulous one. The Beatles, not sure what, yeah, okay. And, but how about a old-timey picture looking of Mick Foley, Terry Funk, and Owen Hart? How about that? Isn't that, to me, that's a riot right there. That's a riot. And of course, Owen's in the Union. The rest of them are like, oh, we're going to get you. And Mick's the only one alive left in that. Terry's gone too. I never got to see Terry. Oh my God, no. All right, fine. He always jokes about on Al Snow. Here's Al Snow in a dress with a head written backward on his head, or help me, or God's head. Yeah, help me. That's what he always wrote. Help me backwards on his head. Oh my God. Oh, okay. Here's another one. If I remember correctly, this is Jesse Ventura was a ref, and there's him in Mankind. Oh yeah, here's him holding his "Have a Nice Day" sign. I'm telling you. And I guess he has a stand-up comedy thing he does from time to time too. Oh my. All right. This had to hurt. I don't care what anybody says. So Triple H versus Cactus Jack. Whole bunch of thumbtacks, ladies and gentlemen, right from a pedigree. Ooh. That is why he's called The Game, ladies and gentlemen. I've heard rumors, allegedly, Triple H and Stephanie are at least separated. I don't know how true that is. It's going to be a bit, yeah, ouch indeed with the whole thumbtack bit, you know. But you need a good made pump. Keep this shit. You need a good mode. I don't understand. Keep the shit straight. That's what I know. I'm firmly convinced that there'll never be a follow volume to Lewis and Spiel's biography. He's taking way too long. He should have had volume. You know what? I know what you're talking about, and yeah, you would have thought volume 2 would have been out already. Okay, but I don't know what's going on. Hopefully he's okay. That's all I can say about that. So, Now that you got Mankind from the title, what's the Bozo? What's Bozo got to do with this? Well, believe it or not, of course, everybody that pretty much has heard me knows I'm from Chicagoland area, okay? I grew up in the northwest suburbs, McHenry County. So when I was a kid in the 70s, see, yeah, and you're from Indiana. You probably watched, maybe, I don't know, it's none of my business to know if you're the same age or similar age as me, but you might have been watching from Indiana for all I know, too, because I know, I remember them mentioning Valparaiso and Gary and a few other towns, and they always would have commercials for, oh my God, but not Indiana Beach. What the heck was it called? The Crow was a mascot. I know I'm screwing this up. I'm sorry, but yeah, he's just dragging his feet just one step up from a con man. Well, yeah, I think that Triple H knows a hell of a lot more than what he's leading on to believe. How could he not? Okay, I think there's a few other people that know a lot of things, and nobody's talking because for some reason I think some people think that Vince somehow is going to get clean. He's going to wampa through all this and come back. They're delusional, and because let's say he ends up being not guilty. Let's say the jury says not guilty on all the counts, and he gets away with it again, allegedly. There's no way in hell he's coming back to WWE anyway. They won't let him in. The fans would, I think, disappear very quickly on that one. And it was wise for them to get rid of him and sell his stock. Oh, I'm talking about Lewis and Paul. I'm sorry, my bad. Maybe. I don't know. I'll tell you who's a con man, allegedly. There is this book about Kiss that keeps... It's been years now. The dude took pre-orders. But it concentrates 1973 to 83. And if I remember correctly, I think it's called Kiss Magic. I could be wrong on that. This is all allegedly. I'm not in the mood to be sued by anybody. But it's been years. And yeah, and nobody got their pre-order, nothing. That's almost as bad as the Vinny Buck cassette box set. Remember that debacle from the mid-90s? He took all that money and never delivered. He was under investigation by the U.S. mail for mail fraud. That's not alleged. That is real. That was a fact. And I'm just like, but yet, I'm sorry. Okay, I like Vinny's music. I liked it in Kiss for the 2 albums he was on. I like the Vinny Vincent Invasion, the first album, even if it is cheesy. That video for Boys Gonna Rock, that's a cheesy little damn thing. That is over the top ridiculous. But, it gives me a good laugh, And the second album has its moments, but it's not as good as the first. But I don't know. What really is disturbing to me is that large orange clown actually publishing a Bible under his name. He has never picked on up or probably would read any. I'm staying away from that. I know what you're talking about. I think I just saw some advertisement on this. I'm staying out of it. I'm neutral in my politics, kids. I'm an independent. I'll admit I'm a Christian, even if I'm a crummy Christian, meaning that I fail a lot. And I'm neutral, I don't know, whatever, in my politics. I'm an independent. I've voted independent since '88. So, what the hell did you say? Are you talking to me? I'm confused. Sometimes I don't even know what I'm saying. Anyways, so, Mankind. Now we get to the Bozo show portion. There is a very cool YouTube channel called the Chicago Museum of Broadcasting, all right? And they restore and digitize stuff from VHS, 70s and 80s, some even in the 60s. There's some rare 60s clips, okay? But before I came getting ready to air, about several hours ago, 3-4 hours ago, they dropped a complete episode of a September 1979 Bozo show out of Chicago, WGN. And I'm just like, hallelujah, because there's not many complete shows, all right? And to have one from 79, yes, it's the Fraser Thomas era, I call it, okay? But better than nothing. I went on in 1975. I would love, if it ever got found, that would be funny to see me, a almost 8-year-old kid, on the Bozo show. I'm neutral too, but combining a Bible with the Constitution and all that other stuff is really blasphemous. Also against the separation of church and state. Now, yes, I do believe in the separation of church and state. That is part of the Constitution, without a doubt. Yeah, that's all. That's it, pretty much. So I watched that Bozo show, and that really took me back to being 11. I was like 2 weeks away from being 12 when that came on, and it used to be on at noon. Back then, kids could actually go home for lunch. Can't do that junk now, at least not most of your areas. But I think, I can't remember if we had the option to do that or not, but the only time I would get to see Bozo at noon was on rainy days. They would have the TV rolled in, and they would literally put it to the Bozo show. So that's what we would watch, for lunch. I'm like, okay. But to find a whole show like that, including commercials, that was pretty dang cool. I'm not going to lie. I like all that stuff. I do. And whenever I miss home, because, Northwest Illinois is always going to be my home at heart. I mean, I've lived in Northwest Arkansas for almost 17 years now. But I'm like, I still miss Chicagoland. I know it's not the same anymore. But still, there's just days I really wish I could go back to the 70s and be a 8 to 12-year-old kid, and just live life again, do things a little different. Woulda, shoulda, coulda, In the 60s, the Bozo show would have Popeye cartoons, etc. That's all I remember, maybe Woody Woodpecker. True, and the episode they showed in 79 here, they had a Bozo cartoon, and then they showed Augie Doggy and Doggy Daddy. They showed one of those. That was within the show. Is Krusty the Clown? Yes, he is. Yep. Herschel. Is Krusty the Clown a descendant of Bozo? Herschel Krustowski's long-lost grandfather. Oh, you hit it on the head there, Mike, didn't you? Anyways, you see, the creator of The Simpsons grew up in the Chicagoland area, Matt Groening, and what he did was, he had mentioned this in interviews years ago, that yes, he was like me. I think he's about the same age, too, if I remember right, or slightly younger. But he took Bozo, Bob Bell Bozo, the first Bozo, because there was two. I don't like Joey DeOria. Sorry, just never did. It's got to be Bob Bell or nothing. And Bob Bell was on the Chicagoland Bozo show from 1960 to 84. That's when he left. It was in 84. It's almost 25 years. Sometimes he'd do some public appearances, but yeah, I want to say by like 86, 87, he was completely out of it. He didn't do any more of that stuff. But yeah, so Bozo, yeah, it was fun. It was fun times back then. But yeah, so he took Bozo, and mixed it with Bobby Bittman from SCTV. I love SCTV. Bobby. How are you? Oh, God. Oh, that's like some of my... Eugene Levy is great. That's got to be... If I ever got to meet him, I'd shake his hand and go, thank you. Thank you for all those bits. I loved Bobby Bittman. That was something. I can remember seeing Matt Groening's comic strip books. Yeah, right. He did, didn't he? What was it? Life is Hell or something with the bunny rabbits? I remember that stuff. Yeah, Life in Hell, or yeah, something like that. Yeah, Life in Hell with the bunny rabbits, and they all look like Simpson bunny rabbits. All right, so Mankind with Bozo and a damn Coyote. Now, my executive producer, Donna Jo Cat Lady, she shared with me today about a Wile E. Coyote cartoon that has now been banned. And I'm going, you know what? Listen here, people. Yeah, Wiley. And why? Okay, look. I think I could say, for everybody in this room currently right now in this chat, that we all grew up in either the 60s or the 70s when we were kids. All right, I'm going to guess this. Some of you maybe a little older, some a little younger. But even up to early 80s we can include in this, okay? So when we saw Wile E. Coyote going after Rover, did we want to order stuff from Acme? Were we going to drop an anvil on someone's head? No, because anvils were too heavy for children. And that's besides the point. Would we have gone off and painted a tunnel on a rock just to throw off a semi-truck driver? No, we wouldn't have. Would we have gone off and like Elmer Fudd, and we would imitate duck season, rabbit season, duck season, and pull it? No, because we realized these were cartoons. These kids nowadays, not everybody, but I'd say 75% of them are woke little bastards. They just come on, grow a pair, for God's sakes, please. Okay, not everything from the past is great. All right, I'll recognize that. But a majority of it, use your head. Use your intelligence, for God's sakes. If the kid would have gone off, like, okay, remember Beavis and Butthead, late 80s, was it, early 90s, where the kid saw the fire episode and burned down a trailer in a trailer park because he said he saw Beavis Butthead to it, and he did it for a laugh. And I'm like, guess what? The parents should have been held responsible for that one. And B, the kid's an idiot because, now, should we blame the medium? Well, yes and no, okay? Firstly, I'm told that this kid that burned the trailer down wasn't even a teenager, all right? So should he really have been watching that? No. So the parents should have been, back then, monitoring the kid's TV usage. You gotta be a parent. You can't, don't get me wrong, all right? I love my mom and dad, right? But sure, I watched a lot of television. I also went outside and played a lot, too, until the streetlights came on, and then I knew. If I heard Paul, I was all right. If I heard Paul Michael, I'm like, uh-oh, I'm in fucking trouble, and I don't even know why. Most of the time, I didn't know why. I know, off my soapbox, sorry. The cancel stuff really needs, I'm sick of all of it. Okay? It always should have been the parents' responsibility, okay? And as parents, you try to do the best for your kids, hopefully. That's the main goal here. Obviously, there's abusive parents out there. I'll admit, even I was one for a little while before I went and got my anger management help, okay? No broken bones or anything like that. I wasn't that extreme. But I knew I had a problem. I did. And I took care of the majority of that problem. And I can say that I haven't had an issue of that matter in about a little over 20 years. I don't mind admitting it. Everybody's got something wrong. But, and to this day, I look back and I'm like, I don't even know why I was angry about it. It's pretty stupid. I guess probably not knowing a lot of my memories anymore, it's no excuse. It's no excuse, but I don't remember a lot of things. So it's like when my kid was telling me a story. Like, hey, do you remember when you did? And I'm like, no, actually I don't. Sorry. That's what happens when you've had COVID brain since 21. The more extreme woke factions have now become a hate group of its own. And that's the thing, though. It has happened that way. And I'm not against young people wanting to make the world a better place. I think we all wanted to do that. Our parents wanted to do that. Our grandparents wanted to do that. Our great-grandparents wanted to do that. We wanted to do it for our children and our grandchildren. We want to make this world a better place for everybody. That's beautiful. That is a fine goal. But along with rose-colored glasses or pie in the sky, you gotta face reality too. And that as much as sometimes this world can be a beautiful place, there's a lot of crummy. There's a lot of evil and dark. And the parents, the job is to try to steer the kids clear of the bad stuff as much as they can and keep them on the right path. You know, don't hold on to them, you know, don't hold on to them tight, you know. Don't rule with them over an iron fist. That'll get instant rebellion right there. You won't get kids to listen to you. I should shut up. I already lost a few people just because of me yapping. But it's the truth, though, right? Right. Okay, so that is Mankind with Bozo and a damn coyote. Now you've got the rest of the story. Oh, boy. I do happen to have a handful of vinyl I could show you guys. I don't think I've showed you before because I do believe in showing some records. I mean, that is half the reason why I do these things. Woke started out as a good thing. It was a sense of being aware of other suffering. That's true. But it's degenerated into, those are my feelings. Yeah, I know. I'm sick of that, too. I'm so sick of all of that. Just saying, okay? You want to be something? Fine, be something. It's your own identity, okay? You establish your own identity. You recognize yourself as this. You announce to the world, this is who I am. Whatever, fine. Just don't force it down our throats. That's all I ask. You be you. But let everybody else have their decision makings. All right. Well, listen. Maybe Saturday I'll do another one. Live long and prosper. Yes. Go woke, go broke. All right. Let's see. Not in any exact order, but like I said, I thought I would bring out a handful anyway. This one here is from a band called Cherokee. Now, I'm trying to remember here who's in this thing. I mean, it mentions you've got several brothers named Donaldson. There's a gatefold, by the way. I know it's not in the best condition. This is ABC Records, by the way. And there's a nice back shot, too. Oh, this is nice. I get a nice little ABC Dunhill. I always like looking at these things. I study all this. But on the one side here, it does say Cherokee, so you're looking at that. Looking at all of this, chances are I would have wanted every one of these damn albums. Mostly. I mean, you got stuff from like Song of Norway to Pharoah Saunders to James Gang, Grassroots, Three Dog, Mama Cass, Jimmy Witherspoon, the Tams, Mama's Papa's group called Smith, B.B. King, John Lee Hooker, Tommy Rowe, Easy Rider soundtrack, Mel Brown, Milt Jackson, and John Phillips. Pretty variety, right? ABC was a good damn label at the time. They had some great acts. Of course, Steely being one of them. I love Steely Dan. But, so, who happens to also guest on this thing is Chris Hillman and Sneaky Pete Kleinow. They're on here too, with bass and steel. And this is produced by Steve Barry, who of course has previously had, if I remember correctly, Grassroots and a few other bands too. All right, listen, thanks for popping on by. I'm not going to be on too much longer anyway. So, if you like Ozark Mountain Daredevils, I happened to trip on this one like 50 cents at a book sale many, many years ago. It is a cutout, but from 1978, the Randall Chowning Band, Hearts on Fire. Here's the front, here's the back. He was a founding member of Ozark Mountain Daredevils. He is on the first few albums, actually, before he went solo. I heard he does do solo gigs occasionally, too, in the Missouri area. I would love to find one just to go and bring I have some signed Ozark Mountain Daredevil stuff anyway from 2 original members. I'd like to get Randall added to it. This next one, the 45 is easier to find than the album. This isn't in the best of shape, but it's on Bell Records. Yeah, I mean it's got a couple scuffs. Other than that, it looks good. But Crazy Elephant, you know, gimme good lovin' every night, which of course had Speedo from the Cadillacs. He sang lead on that, which that song just cooks. I love that song. But here's the back, here's the front. I think I found this at a resale shop. I'll admit, yeah, I don't like the tear that's here, but other than that, I think I spent like 50 cents for this. And I am, truthfully, I've never come across another copy of this since, seriously, in the wild or at a record store. When I went to the record show, I was looking about actually for pop stuff too, but I didn't come across. This one here, I might have shown this before to you guys. No, I didn't pay the $12.99 on this. This came from a trade I did with the record store on Colossus Records. The Mob. They were Chicagoland. This is 1970, if I remember correctly. Yeah, and okay, there was a division of MGM Records. Colossus was. But yeah, I think this is another horn-based one, if I remember correctly. But this is what you'd be looking at. So, glad to have this in the collection. I'm always looking for Chicago area stuff. My want list probably hits from here to the floor in regards to that kind of stuff. Now, I found this reasonably priced. I think I only paid $5-6 for this, actually, in really nice shape. This is on Elektra Records. One of the few times that, this is from 1973, Ian Matthews' Valley High. Here's the front, here's the back. Produced by Mike Nesmith. That's right. Produced by Mike Nesmith. I thought that was kind of cool. That's what you're going to be looking at for your Elektra label with the Elektra Butterfly. This is in really clean shape. I think that even he's on here doing some guitar work too, if I remember right. But so Ian Matthews, Valley High. Trying to see if there's anybody else familiar on here. Yeah. See, Mike is on guitar, and Red Road's on lap steel. Real nice. And Byron Burline on fiddle. Yay! Very, very nice indeed. So, fantastic. So if you're a Monkees fan and a Mike Nesmith fan, look up for that one. You will be wanting to have that. And then I'll show you one last 45, I guess, that I happen to have, and then we'll talk some bits of music news. I'd say we'll probably be done in about 5 to 10 minutes. How about that? This story goes, remember that resale shop with the Crazy Elephant album I just showed you? That was the Salvation Army here downtown. Well, not downtown, but in Rogers. A few years back, I went in there. I used to go in at least once or twice a week, and I would do the circuit. I had 5 or 6 different ones I would go to. Sometimes I'd be lucky, sometimes not so much. But there was a crate of 45s under a table where the albums were. That was not there a few days before. I ended up finding a nice batch of Northern Soul, but this is the one that was the key piece of everything I found in that crate. Now, if you don't know what this is, that's fine. But as soon as I saw it said Scope Records, Detroit, Michigan, No More Heartaches, Art Posey. Art Posey was a writer for Motown, but he tried to get a 45 released on Motown. Motown said no, so therefore he released it himself. Not many copies were sold on this thing. The condition of this 45, Doug Fields, Vinyl Grotto cleaned it up for me. I would say there is some minor scuffs. It'd be at least VG, okay? VG. Between VG and maybe VG Plus. Hi, Dwayne. How you doing? This goes for maybe $200 to $250, this 45. And I only paid 25 cents. I found some other Northern Soul stuff too, but this was the key piece from that find. They also had some psych finds, but the problem is that, like, okay, the coolest one, I remember this. Somebody obviously hated Zachary Fax on Mercury. It was a white label promo, and as soon as I saw, I'm like, holy crap. And then I saw that one side was scratched to holy hell, like they took a screwdriver to it. I hate it when people do that. Boy, do I hate it. The other side was playable, but not that. I'm like, I just let it sit there. And you know, it sat there for quite a while. I think whatever was left of the 45s, either somebody probably came in and bought them all, or they were known for, after maybe 4 to 6 months, throwing things away and starting over. So, but in my opinion, I got the best in the batch because I just happened to be there. In fact, the lady went off and told me, I remember this, that she put that crate out within the last hour or two. And I'm like, sometimes it does pay to be in the right place at wrong. No. But yeah, so that's why I love 45s. Not just because some of them might be valuable, but because they're fun. You know, you get to experiment, and you get to listen to two things that you didn't get to hear before. Yeah, I've got, like, oh geez, hundreds and hundreds of 45s. I would say, yeah, hundreds and hundreds. I'd say between 500 and 700 45s. I think I've got currently, because I've given away some and I've sold some. But speaking of that, and as soon as I get off of here, I have to check on an auction. There is I think today's the last day, and I'm not going to tell you what the record is unless I win it, but it is a promo copy of a 45 that I've been looking for about 20 plus years now, and the price is right. Not Bob Barker, but the price is right. So let's hope that Paul can pick that up at a reasonable price. That is, you know, how it is. All right, guys, now let's see. Oh, before I head out, so I told you that there's several different 60s bands that are doing new albums this year. Nectar is working on one. They claimed that it'll be done by the end of the year. Strawberry Alarm Clock are doing in the middle of a new album right now, and hopefully should crank out by the end of the year. But there was another 60s band that just released a new album this past Friday. That's right. And it is the first recorded music since 1970, when they were on the soundtrack to The Minx. And that is, we are talking about The Circle. That's right. The Circle, you know, Turn Down Bay, Red Rubber Ball, It's them. It's 2/3 because the other guy died, unfortunately. But it's 2/3 of the original lineup. And they got some new band members. And they also happen to have Dean Castron. Dean Castron was a vocalist and bass player for, if I remember correctly, the Ohio Express. It's either Ohio Express or 1910 Fruit Gum. I want to say Ohio Express. And he's in that band too now. And the Circle are talking about at least doing a mini tour. The new album is called Revival. And just go to Circle's official website. You can order it. $12 plus shipping. I hope it's signed. Nobody bothered to bring that up. That'd be cool if it was. But so yeah, 60s bands still cranking out product in 2024. And I'm always happy about that. That is for sure. I still wish some of the 50s people that we have left, like Dwayne Eddy and oh boy, James Burton, a few other people, right? Everly. I wish they would do some things. But there's not many 50s people left either. Our 60s people are going away too. It's just a fact of life, you know, trying to find newer musicians to not necessarily replace the older ones, but carry on the spirit of rock and roll, right? That's the way it's been, well, since what, 1950, 51? For rock and roll anyway. So what, that'd be, wow, 70, almost 75 years. So almost 75 years rock and roll's been pretty much a format, a type of music. Wonderful stuff, beautiful stuff. All right, guys, I really do love you guys. I think we're looking at Saturday maybe for the next broadcast. I'm not 100% positive on that yet. Like I said, due to there won't be a wrestling show. I don't know who's on Zanguli. I haven't checked for that one too. Hey, James, I hate to say this, I'm about ready to wrap this up, but that's okay. You can always catch me on the next one on Saturday, and hopefully I'll have some more vinyl goodies for you guys, or well, at least some more stories, if you will, on different things too. But like I said, please like and sub if you haven't done that already, so you can always stay in the know for the Cycles Bladders. Check out the newest Jukebox from Hell. All right, which that's Angel, Bad Publicity, or check out Fleetwood Mac Time, or check out. There's a whole bunch of other fun you guys can look through. And the Knack. We've got 35 episodes of Jukebox from Hell. Some of them more popular than others. So, all right. Until next time, take care. God bless. Rock on. Always powered by coffee each and every time. That's the mighty Psycho promise. And as long as I'm alive, and as long as I can continue to drink this stuff, which, by the way, before anybody asks, it now is Starbucks pumpkin spice. I'm not a big fan of that, but for $2 a bag, big bag, I was not going to let that go. I can deal with it for a while. But you guys take care. And if you got any future suggestions for JFH, or maybe who would you like reasonably for me to try to interview in the future for this hopefully potential new interview series we're hoping to shoot for in summertime, who would you like to see? I've already got a couple different people I'm in loose discussion with, so who knows? This could end up being, I think that hopefully this channel will grow a lot more this year. This might be our year, guys. I have the best audience in the YouTube VC. That is a fact. I don't care what anybody else says. All right. I love you guys. Talk to you later.